I find it such an honor to watch something beautiful and share it with all of you. After a long time, a Hindi film has made me go through an array of emotions inspired, emotional, motivated, and more importantly, garnered perspective of what we consider to be art, of what we consider worthy to be watched on the big screen, and even more significant, the power of the word of mouth that acknowledges something brilliant and makes sure that even a humble, small film like this, with its limited marketing run, should be watched in a packed theater. It made my heart full seeing that universal appeal of this story. The film 12th Fail, directed by Vidhu Vinod Chopra, is based on the novel by the same name written by Anurag Pathak, based on the life of Manoj Kumar Sharma. His struggle from his formative years, coming from the Morena district of Madhya Pradesh, often dismissed as the land of dacoits, mocked for the sheer thought of becoming an IPS officer. This story focuses on how Manoj, played by Vikrant Massey, gets inspired to sit for the competitive exams, the overwhelming experience he has while being surrounded by lakhs of students who have the same aspirations, and how human perseverance is constantly make even the most simplistic underdog storylines the most engaging and inspiring. And that is the beauty of this film. On him along the way, the natural human tendency that often extracts the most foolish mistakes along the way, and life experiences and circumstances make you self-reflect on why you started the journey in the first place. But the reason why a film goes from being predictable to inspiring is the effectiveness with which the same story is conveyed, and actually create a parallel with in their own lives. You get the context of Manoj and his family dynamic from the first frame, the hot-headed nature of the family that will endure anything other than being called crooks. This established belief of the family to follow the path of an honorable life makes their journey a dichotomy of sorts, tumultuous yet peaceful. For it's a path constantly dealing with the red tape and corruption, but also that one is morally sound and gives you sound sleep at night. A scene where the grandmother has horror in her eyes at the very thought that Manoj has resorted to Jugaad as his choice of occupation tells you how they have hope set on their son to come back home wearing a police uniform and not waste his life this way. The film also establishes the perspective Manoj has that many aspirants may not, and this becomes a focal thread throughout the film of the caste issues he is surrounded by at an early age, of the mockery of the school system that persists in the interiors of India, of the petty crimes one gets embroiled in when there is no goal beyond the confines of your district. This perspective is often overlooked by those in positions of power, as they dismiss the candidates on paper just having a blot of being a 12th fail and being from Hindi medium. A beautiful line of the film states, "Janta agar पढ़ लिख गई तो नेताओं की लाइफ में बड़ी समस्या हो जाएगी." The film is another reminder for creators on just the effectiveness of real and practical locations and how it contributes to actually transporting audiences to the lanes and halls in which the characters live, breathe, and experience obstacles. Be it densely populated coaching institutes, the makeshift cafes made for students, the examination halls, the sinking feeling of running towards a board, hoping and praying your name appears in the results of those who have passed. In each frame, especially for those who may have experienced sitting for these competitive exams, you will instantly get flashbacks of your past, of the exact moment where you felt the anxiety rush through your body, of the panic that there may be a point where this isn't meant for you, of the sheer pressure that surrounds you as some peers excel ahead of you and leave you behind. And this, beyond the practical locations, is heightened by the use of the environment by Vidhu Vinod Chopra. Most scenes will not have a melodious tune to manipulate you into feeling a certain way. He will integrate the sounds of traffic, the chatter around you, the squeaking chairs, the breathing and panting of candidates waiting, and this really acts as such an impactful element to this story. Something that makes it a cut above the storytelling of the aspirants by TVF that heavily depends on its score whenever a character says something remotely profound or inspirational. This is why I prefer it over the gimmicky interviews in Chetan Bhagat novels, because its intention is to stay understated and real and actually impart the circumstances that a candidate may have to deal with in the interview process. I am in awe of the casting of this film. You've got Anshuman Pushkar, who becomes Manoj's family away from home. The feeling of camaraderie where everyone is fighting for the same selfless cause extracts such beautiful moments in the film, especially when Manoj is given the news of failing the preliminary exams. The reminder to start again and never letting go is the reminder everyone wishes they once get in life. The hilarious Anant V. Joshi and how fate makes him meet Manoj is also a reminder of those in the rat race, sometimes against their own will. The feelings of jealousy, insecurity, and anger that sets in the relationship also acts as such a core component of the friendships one builds over the course of this strenuous journey. I felt that the voiceover guiding the storyline was slightly indulgent and the screenplay would have been as effective without it. When you get to know Manoj Kumar Sharma's story, one takes inspiration from his individual zeal, but it becomes a romance for the ages when you get to know the way he met his wife Shraddha, played with great sensitivity by Medha Shankar. The love story never acts as a deterrent to the storytelling. It acts as a guiding force for the protagonist in many ways, a sense of home and calmness when absolutely disoriented of what to do in life. Never in the slightest will you feel like their interaction steers away from the film's intention, and more importantly, the purity of this dynamic, independent from judgment, is what makes it a union sometimes just written in the stars. What can I say, however, about Vikrant Massey? His journey is something that I have followed for years, for the courage that he has with his choices, for the effortless nature with which sometimes he even elevates mediocre content. This journey from TV to films is an arduous one, and the current nature of the obsession of box office numbers often takes away the spotlight that artists like him deserve. Vikrant puts on such an emotional and effective performance as Manoj that I wouldn't be surprised if he bags several awards for this role later. The scenes he shares with his grandmother, a reminder of the tales that was imparted by his father, the sorry life his mother leads, all extract such real moments. It's enough to make any age demographic empathize with this journey. You see the evolution so organically through his demeanor and the way he conducts himself. There is a naivety in his eyes as he looks at the new DSP in town as a figure of inspiration. You see a boy absolutely smitten hearing Shraddha sing like an angel, and through the years of turmoil, you see the same man reprimand someone who calls him a crook, give a reminder to a corrupt cop of the consequences of his actions, and it is on his knees to the ground. It will make anyone just uncontrollably weep. 12th Fail is special by Vidhu Vinod Chopra, and I can't recommend it enough to all of you, easily becoming one of my favorite Hindi films of this year.